guide to referencing. So, what is referencing? When you are writing a piece of work and use someone else's words or ideas, you must reference them. This means that you include detailed information on all sources consulted, both within your essay itself and within the bibliography. Both these examples will be demonstrated to you shortly. So why do we reference? To avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism involves deliberately or inadvertently presenting someone else's ideas as your own. This doesn't necessarily have to be direct quotation, but can also be paraphrasing someone else's argument or ideas. This can have serious detrimental effects and is to be avoided at all costs.
In the next section, we're going to cover where it's appropriate to use references and a few examples of how to reference different things. This quote, for example, has been taken directly from someone's book, but no credit has been given to the author. This is an example of plagiarism. If you include someone's work directly, it must be quoted directly using quotation marks as shown here, with a reference provided at the end. We will look at what you need to include in your reference shortly. Similarly here, even though the student hasn't directly quoted from the author, they have paraphrased them. If you're using someone else's work to help your own, it is usually a good idea to provide a reference, like the student has done here. To insert a reference in Word, first you need to go to the References tab at the top of your page and press Insert Footnote. This will take you to the bottom of the page where you can type out your reference. This will create a number at the end of where you want your reference. If you want to add in another reference at another point in your text, you can just press Insert Footnote again and it will reorder your references for you. Depending on what you're referencing, you might need to include different things. Here, when referencing a book, you'll need the author's name, the title of the book, the place of publication, the publisher, the year published, and the page number where you got the piece of information from. An edited book includes contributions from a number of different authors, so on top of the usual things you'd need for a normal book, you will need the author of the chapter, the title of the chapter, and the editor as well. If you want to include a reference from a website, if they're available, you should include the author's name, the title of the piece, and the date it was written, but you must include the date you accessed the piece and the website's URL. At the end of your work, you should include a bibliography. This should be sorted alphabetically by author's surname. It's important to remember there are many different styles of referencing, so if you have any questions, ask your teacher.
Top tip: always make a note of any reference you are using in an essay. To note down any information needed for referencing, you need to look at the front matter section, which is usually located in the first few pages of the book. You need to write down the author, comma, book title in italics, open brackets, place of publication, comma, name of publisher, comma, year published, close brackets, followed by a full stop.